Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Headaches and Hot Takes box. Nothing's funny.
Hello.
General Kenobi.
Hello there.
That's what you're supposed to say when I say, well, hello there.
Hello there.
Welcome back to the Headaches and Hot Takes podcast. I'm your host, Chaperian. That guy over there is my co-host, Hern, a.k.a. the world-famous Fry Forgetter, a.k.a. the Gallica God, a.k.a. Blicky, Sweet and Sticky, the Herniator. What's up, buddy?
With the blicky oh. With
the
sticky
Blicky.
oh.
The Blicky. I've gotten into a really stupid habit of calling guns Glockinators for some reason.
I never heard that.
I think
like
Blicky is hilarious. I think Blicky is hilarious. And then I always I feel like just calling any gun a Glock is funny. Whatever. Like, put the Glock.
Because people are going to get mad. No, that's a Glock MX 1000. Stop it. Dude.
I just like calling any gun a Glock. And then,
that's funny.
As a result, I'm going to be the Glockinator or the Glockinator 3000. Just stupid crap.
The Glockinator.
Well, buddy, we decided we were going to do something just minorly different this week. Minorly different. And we're going to actually tell you what we're going to talk about at the top of the episode. What a concept, right?
Well, we're gonna tell you what we're supposed to talk about. Will
That's
we,
true.
As per usual, go
That's
off the
true.
rails? Yes. But.
We've got a little quick subject. What was I going to... I kind of forgot what I said we should talk about for that.
The fries. You forgot the fries.
No, that's not the joke I was going to make. I said, let's talk about fries. And I was like, no, we'll talk about something else. I can't remember what the other thing I was going to talk about is. We can talk about fries, legitimately. We're going to talk about fries for a second. I'm being serious. Dead serious. Yeah, dead serious.
You told me what this was?
No, I didn't tell you.
It was in
no,
your
I didn't
head.
tell you. This is me talking to myself. Keep up, Hern!
Okay. I'll just sit back.
We're going to talk about fries. I've got hot take of the week, also food related. And then we are going to talk about a conspiracy theory to wrap up the episode. That is one of my legitimately favorite stories to hit the media in the past 20 years. I think it is a wild story. They turned it into a 10-episode documentary on Hulu. It's great. But for now,
try to remember your other curveball, because then that means this whole episode is food.
I can't remember. I guess it is, right? I guess it is.
Was it something we were just talking about?
Yeah. We were talking about it. We were talking. You came back.
We were talking about Herbert. We were talking about
not that.
umpires.
No, it was before that. It was before that.
Oh, before
something popped up that made me think of this. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be good. That would be a good curveball. And I just
my headphones weren't working on my computer.
It was after that. I just straight forgot.
I'm trying to remember the exact timeline of events here.
That's nothing wrong with talking about food, because that's at least universally relatable. Unlike sports. We're not a sports podcast. We talk about sports a lot. Food is universally relatable, and that we all have to have it. So,
not me.
That being said,
built different.
Not me. I'm built different.
No, I don't need it.
I don't need it. I just want your thoughts on, real quick, the best fast food fry. Because where were you ordering fries from earlier?
McDonald's.
It was McDonald's.
McDonald's fries are almost to me like the bar. Like, I feel like McDonald's fries are almost never bad. They can be soggy.
Yeah.
Whatever. It does happen. Every place it does happen. But like McDonald's fries are almost always safe. They're almost always good, I feel like. You got something to say to that? Or you want me to keep going?
Keep going. I'm going to talk a lot in this episode. Remember we talked about that? I was like, I'm going to talk too much this episode. It needs to be you talking some.
Thank God. Wendy's fries used to be terrible. And within the last year, they revamped them. And now they're so good, I think.
You've got it flipped. No way, you really think that?
No. They used to be... Okay. I would not get fries. I would get a baked potato at Wendy's.
There was when we were kids, there's that era of fries. Then they changed them, and they were new sea salt fries. Those slapped. Then they changed them again, and now they're extra crispy all the time.
They're so good.
They're not as good as they were before. Really.
I do prefer crispier fries.
I do too.
I prefer...
I do too.
Okay. An underdog... It's not an underdog. It shouldn't be. It's a dark horse. I don't know what the word is, but nobody ever talks about them. Arby's, the curly fries, dude.
Yeah, we don't talk enough about them and Rallies or Checkers, depending on where you're at in the country.
Rallies / Checkers, yes, fantastic.
Those are the best non-curly fries, although they're not straight up regular fries. They're seasoned fries. That's part of why they're so good.
Right.
But curly fries, bro. If you could have...
We'll go to Walmart. You
grab
get, like,
those?
you can get like the bag. You can get the bag of frozen Arby's curly fries, and like whenever we make burgers at home or whatever, we have this. Oh my gosh, I want some right now.
I'm here to tell you right now, I'm the number one McDonald's fry hater probably on the planet. I don't think they're bad. I just think that the fact that so many people swear they're the best fries I've ever had, they're the best, no one's better than them, you're dead wrong. You're so wrong.
Yeah, they're not.
And like you're just closed-minded about it. So many people are closed-minded about it. Because I promise you, like I grew up having them a lot, obviously, because it's McDonald's. It's just it's the standard, right?
McDonald's in West Virginia, what goes better together?
Baja Blast and pepperoni rolls.
Fair. That does sound good.
That sounds good. I was gonna say, actually, hold up. Let me cook for a second.
I'm sipping a Baja Blast as we speak. So I'm like,
Oh, that's definitely why I thought that then. Wow, we just had like a subliminal moment happen before our very eyes, and I did not realize it.
A subtle ad.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen that clip from Godzilla X Kong of the Volkswagen commercial in the movie? You know, the movies and TV shows do that. It'll just, you say ma'am.
I said ma'am, yeah.
It's ma'am.
I called Cat sir the other day too. I said no sir. I don't know what my deal is. Keep going.
That's fun. Movies and TV shows do that, like a blatant ad placement for whatever.
I have no problem with it.
I saw it on Twitter. It's like, it's from Godzilla X Kong, and they're like getting in the car, and it cuts to like it sincerely looks like exactly a commercial. The car is like barely angled to where you can get like a whole view of the car, and the camera just like pans on it for like 5 full seconds, like Volkswagen. It's like, oh my gosh, dude! Have you seen that clip of? I think it's from Riverdale. That show, the Chime. You know, Chime, like the bank thing.
I know of Chime.
Have you seen that one?
I'm not.
That dude's like at the bar or whatever, and he's like paying for it. He goes, here's my Chime card. He says, here's my Chime card, and like shows it directly to the camera. It might be the worst one ever, dude. It's so bad.
I have another one that I think of quite a bit. What are the cats doing in my door? Get the heck out of here, you gremlins. Leave.
R.I.P. Luigi Fly High.
Deep cut. Yeah, he just gets smacked by another cat. I was watching one of our favorite shows, Chicago PD. They're pinging somebody's cell phone. Apparently that takes time. And they were like, how'd you get that cell data so fast? And speaking of RIP, Nadia says, I flirted with the U.S. Cellular lady.
U.S. Cellular of all
US
brands?
Cellular. Yeah, bro. I'm like, I bet you did. Nice ad placement.
I use the Cricket Wireless network.
Yo, real talk, I want to just punch. Oh, I remember they're the curveball. Let's go. I remember they're the curveball. It's nothing
Did we bring it back around? Does it have anything to do with what we just said? Or did you
nothing. Not a thing at all. I remember.
What?
Dude, the Powerball and McMillions were both over $1 billion for the first time ever. I saw that. And I want to know. What is so funny? Nothing's funny.
Oh, what did we just say that
Nothing.
brought that back for
Nothing.
you?
Nothing. Straight up nothing.
You have like, you know, like people, are you left-brained, are you right-brained? You're both, dude. And they work like independently of each other. Like just now,
Hashtag rare insults.
We're talking about Cricket Wireless, and you're like, it's a Powerball! Like, how does that connect? It doesn't. But somehow, like
to do with anything.
There was at least 20% of your brain was still working. Like, what was that? What was that thing you was talking about? Well,
that's absolutely what was happening. That's absolutely what was happening. Yeah. I was just trying to like go back in time and forget what it was. First of all, the Cricket Wireless mascots on their commercials, I want to punch them.
You want to punch them?
I want to punch them all. Because they just go, they don't say a thing. They're like, here's one of our satisfied customers now. And then they stay on the screen. Like, as they like they're showing like a theater screen of one of the customers talking. And they go,
they do. That's so true.
And they're just like, it's so terrible. And I'm like, get off the screen, you bozos.
Dude, the worst commercials of recent memory for me, I hate it when a commercial relies on, like, we got Aaron Rodgers in this commercial. Our business must be great. I hate that so much.
Dude, and I'm so over it.
Of recent memory, nobody does that worse. There's two. State Farm.
State Farm.
It's terrible.
Yes.
Nissan,
worst.
Dude. Nissan's Heisman commercials, specifically, like the Heisman.
You don't like the Heisman House commercials? I
love them. It has nothing to do with Nissan. It has nothing to do with Nissan, but they got Baker and I can't remember who else on those commercials, but they got different Heisman. And at the very end, for 2 seconds, it's like a Nissan in the driveway. Like, this has nothing to do with that doesn't convince me to get a Nissan. That Baker sitting in the house with a Nissan in the driveway, I don't care.
The idea is, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you. I don't know. I agree. At least they do something with the cars usually. Like, Tim Tebow's driving Caleb Williams to practice, and he's like late, and then they went a car wash competition and won. It's like stupid stuff. Yeah.
A car washing competition.
But there was that one which, like, honestly, I won't get on the sports talk for long. Give me like 30 or 40 seconds here. It's Charles Woodson and Eddie George, an Ohio State and Michigan Heisman winner. And Ohio State fans are so pissed that Eddie George agreed to do this commercial. They're like, why would you agree to do this commercial? Why would you let them do this commercial with you? Charles Woodson is talking about, I kind of got jealous of all the other schools with mascots. Because if you don't know, Michigan does not have a mascot. There's no mascot for them. It's like Brutus Buckeye and the Florida Gator and, the Wisconsin Badger, stuff like that coming by. And he's like, so then I decided to, like, figure out, why don't I just get a Wolverine? And he orders a Wolverine to the Heisman house. And Eddie George, the Ohio State Heisman winner, opens it up and it attacks him. You don't see it attack him. But then it pans to them. It just cuts to them next to each other. He's got like a neck brace and scratches all over his face. And Charles Woodson goes, and that's the day I figured out why we don't have a mascot. I thought it was great. Obviously, he's a Michigan fan. I thought that was funny. So I love those commercials. I can't believe you don't like them.
It has nothing to do with the brand. And that is Nissan.
One that I'll mention that I'm seeing a ton right now. It's kind of newer. It's this cat like treat commercial. Have you ever given your cats like the liquid? You know what I'm talking about? Say it.
Maybe. No, hang on. Let's see. I've only seen this. I've only seen what I'm talking about on TikTok. So I want to see.
Okay. It's like the little squeeze tubes of cat treats, which my cats love those. Okay. They've been around for years. I guess this company's newer and is trying to make it a thing. But they're so heavily trying to rely on their jingle because they think they just we reinvented the wheel with this here jingle. Buy your stuff now. And it's just the most regular, like God, it's so cringy. It's cringy because I can tell how heavily you're depending on it. Because they say the jingle in the little 5-second dialogue between two people, and then they have someone sing it. It's called Delectables. You ever heard of it? It's stupid. They're feeding their cats, and this chick goes, yeah, deliciously delectables. And then it cuts to a cat, and then it goes, deliciously delectable delectables. And it's cringe, bro. I get like secondhand embarrassment from it. I'm like, ugh.
That sounds pretty bad. I was talking about Meow Mix, which first off, you're not beating meow 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 meow. You're not beating that in the cat treat jingle commercial.
Meow meow. Yeah, that was great.
On TikTok, they're now doing like a boy band Meow Mix. Have you seen that?
No.
Like they're they got like cats like dressed like in all white and they're like dancing in an alley and it's like meow 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 meow. Like
maybe I have seen that. Maybe Cat showed me one of those, but that sounds funny to me. I love everything with cats. I thought about doing for a hot take of the week, just cats are better than dogs as pets, and here's why. Even though I love dogs, but I'm like, that's not a hot take. That's not a hot take because like so many people feel that way. So dogs are great, but as pets, cats are better. We won't have that conversation today, though. You can say your piece, and then we'll move on. Say your piece.
No, because I promise you that was the whole thing. What you just said is how I was going to intro, because obviously I'm the other side. Yeah. I wasn't going to say if you think cats are better than dogs, you're wrong. That's fine. I think dogs are better than cats. You think cats are better than dogs. I'm not going to. You're wrong. This is a definitive answer. But I have several points of like things that cat people say that make no sense and things that are overlooked as dogs. So like.
Well, I love dogs. Is the thing. And I think you would go on record as saying you at least like cats. Surely, you have cats.
I like cats. Yeah, I don't dislike cats.
You don't love them.
You
wouldn't go on the record saying I love cats. Because I love cats and I love dogs.
I'll say I love cats. Sure.
Okay, that's all that matters to
me. Cats are for me what I imagine. Cats are for me what I imagine dogs are for you. Where like the best cat is somebody else's cat that I get to go visit. I enjoy them for 2 hours while I'm visiting, and then I go home and I don't gotta deal with them.
I don't know if that's true for me because I wouldn't mind dealing with it. It's just that I can't get a dog right now because I have 4 cats and it would make their lives miserable. Like every single one of their lives gets significantly worse if I introduce a dog to the house. So I'm not doing that to them. That's not fair to them. So I wish that was a more common thought of like, oh, I want a dog. Okay, you already have a cat, or vice versa, by the way. Oh, I want a cat, and you already have a dog. Okay, like, cats, especially the cats, because they're such anxious creatures, they're going to be miserable with the dog around, usually. You can make it work. There are people who do both. But I think it's not fair, usually, to the animal you had before to get the brand new shiny toy that is going to completely change its life for the worse. My thought. Like, if I could not get a dog and make these 4 cats happy at the same time in the same house, it would not happen. They'd be miserable.
Right.
So,
right.
Anyways.
If you don't want to get on it, then we just need to move on.
I agree.
I got points for that, so we can just...
McMillions and Powerball reached $1 billion at the same time for the first time ever, I believe. And I just want to know, because this is one of the most common arguments, or not arguments, but thoughts that people have is like, what would I buy? And I'm not making fun of anybody for thinking that. I think it all the time. What is the first ridiculous, stupid, expensive item you're buying if you win a crazy, huge lottery? Don't say a house, don't say a car, don't say a trip, nothing. Item. Something stupidly expensive, like at least $200, $300, $400, which to a lottery winner is nothing. That's just like, yeah, this is stupid, but I want it really bad.
I don't know, because obviously I would have said probably like a ridiculous car at first. So
yeah,
if you're
that's
cars,
so common though. Everybody's like, the first thing that comes to my mind is what house would I get? What car would I get? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then honestly, the first thing that comes to me is like, I've thought, like, if I win the, like, you know, it's $1 billion, right? And I'm sure you don't get $1 billion. I'm sure you get like half of that, whatever. $1 billion. $1
billion.
I'm sure you get like half of that because you take the cash option. Excuse me. But I'm like, you know, what would I buy that's like, the first thing that comes to my mind is like house, car, and then if I had like, let's say it's $1 billion, so like 500 million, I swear to God, I'm changing everyone close to me's lives as well.
Right.
I'd give you at least $1 million if I won 500 million. I'd give you $1 million straight up. Here you go. Make your life better.
Thanks.
Retire. Tell Rose to retire if she wants, or you can keep working if you want to. Just know you don't have to.
No.
You know what? Why not? Why not?
Same.
Why would I not, you know, make, you know, my family's lives better and Kat's family's lives better? Now, I'm not saying go ridiculous. Maybe $1 million is a bit much to say that I'd give you $1 million. But to think like something 40, 50, 60 grand is nothing to somebody like that. Right. And my whole thing is, you might sound like, and that's why lottery winners go broke. I'm not saying give, you know, butthole Joe on the street $1 million. I'm saying like the people in your inner circle, you can make their lives better and still have a crazy fortune.
Yes.
So I genuinely think I would do that pretty early on. Maybe I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's easy to say without the money. Did I buy you enough time to think of what you would buy that's like a material item?
No. I'm gonna need you to say yours first because I honestly I would be stuck on like what you just said. I would pay off my debt. I would then get new debt, but it wouldn't be new debt because I could just write a check for it.
No, it's not new debt at all. You just straight up you pay everything cash, or straight up debit everything. I guess right. Imagine.
It's crazy, dude.
But
you've thought of this. Give me your answer.
I thought of this a bunch. Yeah. Anytime it pushes $1 billion, like we think, what would I buy? And Kat and I have like at least one conversation of something stupid we would do. I would just start like going crazy on like expensive Pokemon cards, probably. Which I'm not even like regularly buying a bunch right now. I haven't bought Pokemon cards in. I opened like 5 packs. I got some for Christmas for my parents. Thank you very much. Fun stuff. And then I bought like 5 packs for myself around Christmas time too. So it's been a while since I've even opened any myself. But I want a first edition base set booster box of Pokemon cards. What?
I was just curious. I was like, how expensive do Pokemon cards get? Do you know the most expensive Pokemon card of all time?
Depends on if you're talking PSA 10 Charizard or Pokemon Illustrator. Pikachu.
PSA 10 Illustrator Pikachu.
Yeah. What did I go for most recently? Logan Paul has it.
$5.2 million.
Logan Paul has a PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator. Funny thing about me is I'm so OCD, I don't even want that card. It's Japanese. To me, I have this weird, I don't think it's cultural empiricism. I don't, because I'm not saying like mine's better than yours. There's a lot of like great arts on Japanese cards, but to me, I'm like, those aren't the cards that were meant for me as a consumer. I just want the English cards. you know? So, like, first thing I'm doing, first edition base set booster box. That is a cool 400 grand right there on one box of cards. I have opened a pack of base set Pokemon cards, but not first edition. I opened one pack. I didn't get squat from it. And this was years ago, though. This wasn't even, like, recent. I want to so bad. Until COVID, those boxes of cards went for 10 grand on the regular. Regularly, 10 grand. Now, again, hundreds of thousands of dollars for one box of cards. It sucks. So,
I don't understand. Like, I guess for me, my thing is, I'm not hating on that. Obviously,
oh, you're
you buy
good.
what you want, especially if you have $1 billion, buy whatever you want.
Right.
It's hard for me to think of something like that in that regard that wouldn't give me quote something back. Like, at least if I buy the car that was used as Bumblebee and Transformers, I still have a Camaro.
What a great answer.
That's
Great answer.
It's still a car, so I was like, I don't know if he'd take that, but I would take, like, the Bumblebee car. Like, I'd probably do something like that. Like, so I could drive it. It gives me something. I obviously have memorabilia. I like memorabilia. But it is harder for me to think, like, okay, would I buy this thing that... I don't know. That's hard. That's hard for me to pick something.
You're also not as much of a material person as I am. I'm such a collector. I'm like, things. I love things. I just always have, right? So for years, I always thought, like, oh, I'd buy, and I might still would do this with how much stupid money $1 billion is. Like, I would buy, like, my entire, like, desired Funko Pop collection, which at one time, when I stopped collecting, was like a $50,000 value. Like, if I bought every Funko Pop I wanted, it was 50 grand. So it was like, that's still nothing, dude. Like, that's still nothing to $1 billion.
Money. That's gas money to $1 billion, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
well, can't really say that anymore. Gas money used to mean not much, but...
You want to know what I would definitely do, though? What I would definitely do if I won the lottery? I'd start that secret business that you and I have in mind. Your idea that I turn into a business. I'd start that freaking business, bro, with that much money. Yep. I would start that business. I'd find a way, bro. I'm starting that business, bro.
It'll happen eventually.
Get that income rolling. So, anyways, I just thought that was a fun little conversation to have because I think we all have those answers of what would you buy with the lottery? Everyone's like, a house. Yeah. A car. Yeah. I'd take a vacation. Yeah. What else? My Little Pony. Woohoo.
My Little Pony. Woohoo. I like raw dogging. That's what I like.
God, dude caught me slacking. Too
I can't
relaxed
remember
for
what
my
the
own
context
good.
was. I can't remember why you said that.
You said, I don't want to say this while we're like balls deep in something. I said balls deep. I love that saying. And I said, no, I love raw dogging. That's what I like. I like saying like that you raw dogged something, even if it's not sexual or anything like that. Like if you just like walk out to your car barefoot to grab something. I'm like, you raw dogged that trip to the car? Just like stupid stuff. Just like dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or like if you pick up like, I'm trying to think. What's something you could just eat like straight out of the package? I'm saying like
a hot dog. Raw dog.
Let's say you like open up a pack of Pop-Tarts like in your pantry, open and you just eat them right there without toasting them or anything. I'm like, dang, you raw dogged those Pop-Tarts. Something random. So I like using it in that saying. So that's why I was like, I love raw dogging. Hashtag TikToks that would get a shadow banned again.
Yeah, don't post that one. Is that what you would say then? If you were the one, I'm sitting there, it's raining, and I got to run out to the car, I'm not putting shoes on or nothing, would you say, like, I'm going to raw dog it? Or would you, like, in that moment, I would say, like, F it, we ball, or balls out, or whatever. That's what I would say.
I say we ball. I say we ball a lot. But I would say, like, I'm just going to raw dog it. Yeah, I've said that funny times. I also think it's really funny, like, when I'm driving or even playing Fortnite sometimes, which I don't feel like I've said this often with you at all. I like to say the term coochie as if it's my coochie. I'm like, get off my coochie. Me, a straight white male, I love saying that. I think it's so funny, bro. I think it's so stupidly funny to be like, get off my coochie.
As if it's my coochie?
My Little Pony, woohoo.
My little coochie, woohoo.
Hey, yo, too far. Back it up. Too far
I
gone.
added the word little, and
We're
that
too
makes
far
it too
gone,
far?
bro. No, I'm just messing with you. Just having a good time. Too far, bro. So, to backtrack one more time, to close it out, I'm trying to see if I can squeeze in a better answer out of you. You know how you can't think of a single stupid item you'd buy?
You wouldn't
buy a Nintendo 64 in the specific color you want and the video games collection you want sealed so that you can open it for the first time. Like nothing stupid like that. That would be unreasonably expensive like it is.
I don't know, dude. I'd have to give you more time on that. I don't know. Like you said, like I'm just not. I don't really think in that way. I'm not as much of a collector.
Yeah.
I honestly would like to be more of one. So
it's fun.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's fun.
I really enjoy what I have,
It's
and
expensive,
I want to get more.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a cool shelf you have back there too. You can't really see a lot of mine because I've got too much and also my angle. So yeah, I got too much random crap. Okay. Well, sound off if you're listening to this and you have an answer at HeadacheSpot on Twitter/X/Twitter. At Twitter on Twitter. That's us.
At Twitter.
Don't say it like that. That's when you like at your funniest, bro. You're like with that intonation. That's like when you're the funniest. At Twitter. I love that.
Okay.
So,
I'll just talk like this all the time.
You look like we were
so
doing that one
funny.
night in Fortnite when we were just doing anything except playing Fortnite. We were pulling the weapons out and doing. Do you remember that?
We were playing. What song were we? We were playing some song with the jam session as fast as
It was
the
either
tempo would let us.
Gangnam Style or a Lady Gaga. Well, I don't think it was Lady Gaga yet. I don't think she was in the game
It
yet.
might have been Poker Face. I
I don't think she was in the game yet. Was it Poker Face? Or was it Mr.
wasn't-
Brightside?
I don't think it was Mr. Brightside.
I don't either, actually.
But yeah, we were just switching our weapons back and forth.
We had the
all
weapons,
the-
and it made it a little funny
yeah.
because they're like quickly pulling them out. So they're like, right? But like if you switch back and forth between that and the gun, they go. They look so stupid. Tell me you've got a clip of that somewhere, please. Especially with our
think I
audio
do.
coming through. It was me, you, Kat, and Willis. We were having a blast.
Yes.
We were having a
Yes.
blast.
I think I do. I'll have to go check my archives.
We're just standing on a car, standing there. It was like 5+ minutes doing nothing
We did
except
forever,
just that crap. Oh, the pizza! Dun-dun-dun,
That's what it
dun-dun-dun,
was.
dun-dun-dun. They have a pizza item where every time you switch to it, it goes dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, because it's like a little Italian song related to another emote. You switch the pizza out and it goes dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. But like you can switch past it and back again and it goes dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And we were doing that.
It was so stupid,
God.
dude.
It's so
was so
stupid. And like those are the games where we win every time. If you're out there sweating in Fortnite or Warzone, just know you're losing to people who screwed around for half the game doing nothing half the time. Because those are the games that we always win.
Yep.
So, yeah. God, man. I'll never forget that one game where you just kept like singing, even like an endgame. And that's how they do. We've done this before. They're just like, when they're singing. And ended up being us three versus just one. Like there's one guy like sweated out, like his whole squad's gone. He sweated out, dude. It's just him versus us three, and we've been screwing around the whole game. Of course, we sniped his head off.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
It's fun.
anyways, I figure we talked a lot about nothing for the first half an hour of this episode so far. Having a blast. Hope you're enjoying it at home too. But I figure it's time we get to hot take of the week. What do you think? It is food related, like I said. I expect some disagreements here. I don't know if I've expressed this thought to you or not. I know for a fact that most of the people listening at home have not even heard anybody on the planet with this opinion before. Confidently.
Okay.
you ready,
it's so like
It's more so
that
obscure.
hot, you're
It's
saying?
more so obscure. The
Okay,
obscurity
that's
makes it
what I was
hot.
looking for.
Like,
Okay.
really? Like, of all the things that, I'm like, dude, trust me. This is more of a trust me, bro, of a hot take. Like,
All right.
most people that are going to disagree with me on this are not equipped to do so because they've never tried it. You know?
Well, you should say that.
So, it's a short one. I'll get right to it if you're ready.
Bring it.
The hot take of the week is the best pizza topping Do you know what I'm going to say? Meatballs. Meatball pizza is the pizza. When you win. It's the best pizza topping, bar none. Pepperoni's great. I think it should be the default pizza topping. Sausage is great. Meatball does what sausage does, but way better. Bacon is great, but it leaves you, to me, unsatisfied with all the combinations there. Just bacon anyways. Ham, standalone, not a great pizza topping. Needs something else. You know what I'm saying? Needs something else mixed in there. Meatball pizza is the best pizza in the whole world. I first tried it because my dad got it from a local place in our hometown called Padrino's. Apparently they've changed how they do it. I haven't had it in years. They do like sliced up meatball like discs. Like they'll slice up the meatballs. I had it again yesterday from a local place in Cincy. What's a local chain in Cincy, I should say. I didn't know they had meatball. We were getting pizza from there. I saw meatball. I'm like, holy crap, they have meatball. It's great, dude. And I already love this place. The pepperoni's great. Their meat pizza's great. Their straight cheese is just great. I'm like, they have meatball. I'm sure it's going to be great, right? It's the best. It's the best. You've not said hardly a thing. Are you going to say anything to me?
I was supposed to be muted and let you talk. So
no, I wanted you. I said it's going to be short. I was like, I wanted you to talk.
Well, then redo it. I didn't even know meatball pizza was a thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm not going to argue. Because I've not tried it. You know my opinion on sausage, so I hate sausage on pizza.
That's the secret to hot take of the week. Is just make a hot take that they can't even, like, I don't know anything about this. I can't argue. How to win hot take of the week every week. Pick a segment they can't argue with.
Yeah, so I don't know. You did not mention what is my favorite pizza topping, which is just pineapple. Pineapple does belong on pizza.
Just pineapple?
I just get pineapple.
Raw dog pineapple.
I get Hawaiian a lot, which is ham, pineapple.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. Like, I think of ham,
like,
I'm like, well, pineapple helps. Or like even ham with other meats. I'm fine with pineapple on pizza. I don't think it's great. I think it's totally acceptable. I think it's fine.
I either go pineapple or Hawaiian for my pizzas.
You will get just cheese and pineapple? Mm-hmm. I think that's a little weird. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do think that's a little weird. Do you think it's better than any of the other options?
When you're putting meatballs on there?
Yeah. I don't think you'll see a traditional Italian place offer pineapples. You will see them. Typically, you'll see meatball at a traditional Italian place. That's who carries it usually.
That's fine. First off,
not hating.
I would be surprised to find any pizza place, Italian or not, that doesn't offer pineapple. I fully expect an Italian place to offer meatball.
Place I got it from last night did not have it. For sure.
Did not have it or did not offer it?
What's the difference? I'm on the mobile app ordering. They don't have pineapple.
You walk into a pizza place, they don't have half the stuff half the time. They're out of whatever.
Which wasn't an option. I don't feel like that's that common of a thing. How often you go to pizza places, they're like, we don't have pepperoni.
Like oh man, we're out. We're out of pepperoni. What else you want? That happens all the time.
Never happened to me. What?
What was the place called?
It's La Rosa's in Cincinnati. It's a local chain.
La Rosa's
it's our Geno's. Which, by the way, Geno's, hey, yo, great pizza. You like Geno's? From West Virginia?
I haven't had a Geno's pizza in so long.
I've had it a couple times since every time. It's not an every time we go back type of deal, but I have it at least once a year. I feel like still. Geno's.
Yeah, these are some all out pizzas, bro.
What are you looking at? La Rosa's?
Pepperoni, sausage, green pepper, onion. That's a lot on a pizza. I feel like.
Did you just search La Rosa's pizza and then images?
Yeah, I'm looking at their menu. Great.
The best thing about La Rosa's is they do a straight provolone as their cheese. That's what makes them a little bit different. Their cheese is just provolone. It's
DoorDash
perfect.
is probably
it's absolutely perfect.
You DoorDashed it?
No, we picked it up after the game last night. How come?
But I mean, like, you put the order in online.
Mobile ordered it, yeah.
Okay. Well, they do have.
They have pineapple.
Yeah.
How about it? Wow.
So,
okay. Prove me wrong.
I don't know what the deal is. I mean, but then again, like every pizza place, they got black olives, spinach.
I like spinach on pizza.
Mushrooms.
I didn't see mushrooms. I like mushrooms as well. Mushrooms is one of my favorite toppings.
Well, there you have it. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's bad. I don't dislike meatballs, so I'm not going to say like, oh, that sounds gross. But
I would just say try it. All right,
try it.
La Rosa's is, by the way, very contentious here because I've clicked on two images in the articles or whatever they are. One said, "We tried the best pizza place in Cincinnati, La Rosa's." And the very next thing said, "La Rosa's, a tradition Cincinnatians should not be proud of."
Whoa!
It's contentious. Their sauce is like very sweet, which is why a lot of people are like, "Ugh, it's too sweet." And some people don't get down with the straight provolone cheese. I love the provolone, like straight provolone. So I will say I don't like their pan pizza. I had their pan pizza with my family one time. My family was like, "This is the pizza you're raving about?" I was like, "I've never had the pan before. The pan's not that good." But the traditional or the hand tossed are phenomenal, bro.
Gotta go hand tossed. I go hand tossed almost every time.
Hand tossed is the way to go. Pizza. It is. Yeah, it is the way to go. I do get traditional from here, though, for what it's worth. Keep going.
What else did we say about food this episode besides the fries? Oh, the curly fries. Something we said earlier is like got me hungry, bro.
Curly fries. Yeah. So, yay, nay on the idea of meatballs on pizza. Now, again, they're not like whole meatballs. You're not eating a whole meatball.
I was gonna say some of the pictures. If you just Google it, some pictures are that, and I was like, okay, I wouldn't do that.
That would be stupid. I've never had that.
Yeah.
Anywhere. But I've had slices of meatballs that look like pepperoni discs, just a little thicker.
Yes.
And then also I've had just like you cut it just not uniformly, so you get like little bits of meatball. There
are some, dude. Let me send you this picture. There are some here that, like, I promise you, there's more meatball on this plate than there is pizza.
Let me see. Oh my God! What is that?
That's insane.
That's an abomination.
That's insane.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
If you were saying this is superior, I'd be like, probably not. No.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll show you like an ideal meatball pizza real quick.
Now I'll show you one.
I'll show you one. I'll show you. I would do this because this is like thin enough discs, but I feel like that's a little too much. I've never had it somewhere. It always costs more. It's always a premium topping. It always costs more. Yeah, I would do that. I feel like that's a little bit much.
Yeah, it's still a little bit much. That's the exact same amount of much as
I said that though. I said that before you sent yours. Okay. I said that before you said. I said that before you sent yours.
What are we doing here?
This looks good. This is meatball and mushroom, which would be phenomenal. Picture's blurry. I copied it blurry. You'll have to get the idea. You'll have to fill in the blanks yourself. I would do like that. Like that's good.
Yeah, I can't see.
Oh my God!
Please put that in. You got to put that into the thing. But look at this.
It's not blurry on my end, so I can't show you. I can't do that.
It's just also small, like on Discord. It's so tiny. It's taking up.
Doesn't it?
It is. Even when I click on it, it takes up at most.
I gotta say, I'm scrolling through these pictures. There are a lot that are like whole meatballs.
Yeah.
This one is spaghetti and meatball pizza. Why would you do that?
Get out.
Yuck.
Get out.
Even the ones here that are half meatballs, don't do that, bro. I've only ever had it at, like, La Rosa's is the first chain I've seen meatball at. I've only ever had it, like, local places. I had it, what was the other thing they had? They had some other, like, funky sausage at this place in Ann Arbor, in Michigan. So good. So good.
That really tempts me to eat some sausage whenever it's called funky sausage. That just sounds so appetizing.
Like a funky name, like a weird Italian name, to where I'm just like, is this like raw or is this like baby cow? Like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Don't look up what they do to make veal if you don't know. It's so inhumane and terrible. He's gonna look it up right now, bro. My guy's gonna look it up right now. It's
am I gonna become a vegetarian?
Say what?
I said, am I gonna become a vegetarian?
It's that kind of stuff that would make you consider it. It's super cruel and inhumane. I've never had veal. I don't plan on trying it either.
I just read the description. It sounds pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, dude. It's gross enough to I'm like, I don't even think we should like talk about it. It's disgusting what they do for veal. Yeah. If you want to know, search up Headaches and Hot Takes Rule 34 on Google. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
That's what you need. Yeah. And
Rule 34.
Safe search off. Safe search off.
Safe search. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Don't you dare give me blurry photos.
Penises.
He said, "Oh my God, it's all blurred." All right, pal.
Rule 34: meatball on pizza.
Oh my God, I bet you get some wild stuff. We talked enough about food. You want to talk more about food? Hello. He's searching Rule 34 for some meatballs. My guy's searching Rule 34 meatballs, isn't he?
They made pizza have, like, boobs, is what Rule 34 meatball pizza is. In typical, like, drawing fashion, where it's, like, pizza this big, boobs like this big.
Waifu.
Is it waifu?
Pizza waifu. It's waifu. Yeah, it's like wife. Okay.
You wouldn't know. That's yeah.
I've watched enough, losers on the internet to know that it's waifu. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, you want to talk about the main subject this week, bro?
Let's get into the entree.
So you don't really know about this, correct? The scandal. I was like, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Did you do any further research? You didn't, did you? Right?
No. The brief summary you gave me, I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Okay. Are you familiar with the little McDonald's Monopoly games? You buy an item, you peel it off, and you get, one of the light blue properties most of the time.
Yeah.
Or you'll get one of the blue ones, one of the two blue ones, because the other one, you get Park Place, you don't get Boardwalk. Boardwalk is the one that they don't actually print any of. Did you know that for the first handful of years that was in existence, it was insanely rigged?
Define insanely rigged.
It was literally not possible to win any of the major prizes at all. Because someone who worked for the factory that printed the pieces was keeping all of the pieces for themselves and was involved with a freaking mob to distribute them. Yeah.
I didn't know the mob part, but I do remember now that you said it that somebody was keeping all the pieces for them. Yeah.
It is literally like a straight up stereotypical mob. They interviewed a lot of the guys who were involved with it for this documentary series called McMillions. It's crazy, dude. And the one thing that's hilarious about it is one of the guys who, by the way, I can't remember his name, unfortunately, because it's been 4 years since I watched it. And they were just he redeemed a Dodge Viper, one of the early years himself. This gang, this mob, I should say, right? The typical mob, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
They had a rule early on of no same two last names. I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of them redeemed the million one year because the million was the highest prize. And then 2 years later, his literal first cousin redeemed a Dodge Viper. Right? He was in a commercial because of redeeming that Dodge Viper. They were because they're showing off the winners and stuff. McDonald's has no clue what's going on, by the way. McDonald's is not affiliated or really to be blamed for the fact that this is going on.
Right.
And it's crazy, dude. It's a crazy story. And the way he was getting away with it. What's that?
What's the conspiracy part?
The conspiracy that made me think of this again, that got me into this, is just some random person's conspiracy. Someone on Reddit said, well, again, you yourself have never heard of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, no,
I
remember hearing about some guy taking the. I do remember hearing about that. I don't remember hearing about the mob and everything. It was that involved.
Yeah. They literally. I mean, how many people would you say that that would have played this? I'd say all your immediate family have been to McDonald's at some point and gotten a Monopoly piece, right? My grandparents used to play a lot, I think. I think they were really into it, right? And so it's so closely affected us, per se. I'm not saying it touched me. I'm just saying it's everybody knows what this is if you were around during that time. I did not hear about this at all, that it was rigged. Had no clue. This never got out to me. The conspiracy behind it that this person pushed is that McDonald's paid the media to stop them from running stories about Monopoly being a fraud. And that's why it's so seldom known about. Obviously, there's now a documentary on it. I don't know if that's a fair thing to say at this point, but I figured, it's a good opportunity to talk about one of my favorite stories to hit the media ever. The first comment on the Reddit thread now says, doesn't HBO have a super popular documentary about this?
But still, if it happened, when was that documentary made?
Documentary was a couple years ago. It was a good decade after the scandal, which is the whole thing.
So there's
That's
a
what
good
this
chance,
person said. Someone else besides the original poster replied and said, yes, but if the story was out when it was actually happening, the company would have been effed. So, yeah. The whole thing, it's one of the funniest parts about this whole thing is that it literally had the FBI involved, okay? Because, it is a massive scandal with a massive company. It almost did not even get off the ground in terms of an investigation. Someone left an anonymous tip someone who was related to somebody. And if you don't know, like, I guess I should fill you in. The reason the mob was affiliated is because they've got the pieces. They're picking random people to distribute them to, and then taking most of that for themselves, right? And they're like holding these. They're basically blackmailing these people. Like, you know, it's fraud, felony charges. You'll do 20 to 30 in jail if you come out about it. So like, you have to redeem it, but then like, we're taking all the money. Crazy stuff. And so someone involved made the call anonymously to the FBI to be like, just look into this. McDonald's Monopoly game is a scam. It's rigged. It's not legitimate. It's being rigged. Someone left an anonymous tip, and it got placed as like a sticky note on someone's desk as like something to look into. He gets like left off of a major case or something like that. Been years since I've seen it, so forgive me if I get this wrong. He's like, well, I don't know what else to look into. And he's like, he literally looks at his sticky notes like McDonald's Monopoly scam, ? And decides to look into it. And doesn't get super far at first, and then finally like gets something like pointing towards the idea of it being a scam right as he was about to dust it off as like a fake tip. Cracks the whole thing open, down the rabbit hole you go. And it's wild, dude. It is a wild, wild story.
So whenever they say scam, are they like the person who left that note, particularly what the FBI is investigating? Are they looking at because like obviously I assume in all those games that like, if McDonald's right now did kind of the same thing, every large fry has a sticker on it. You could win $1 million. I assume there's like one sticker in the entire country that has $1 million on it.
Yes.
So is that the scam, or was the scam it being rigged? Like from the
scam is that they are making these and they're never getting into circulation. They're getting redeemed without ever being in circulation. And here's how.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a major spoiler. If you're interested in this and you want to watch the documentary series, skip forward about 5 minutes, I'd say at this point, because I'm going to spoil the whole thing for you as to how they're doing it. Do you want me to say it, Hern?
I guess. Yeah, gee, thanks.
I guess! I mean, if you don't want me to, I don't have to. But I mean, I'm going to tell you how they did this game.
It's a 10-part docuseries. Yeah, give me the spoiler. That's fun.
Yeah, it's 10-part. It's 10-part hour-long episodes. So,
yeah.
It's great. My wife and I stayed up till 6:30 in the morning one night binging it. It was amazing. This is during COVID. Anyways, there's a small-time printing company in like North Carolina or something. Small time, okay? I'm talking like a local printing company who McDonald's hired to print the pieces for this and distribute them, okay? They do this, and the whole thing with this is like one guy is in charge ultimately of the prize pieces. And I've always wondered this myself, because you get these cards that are like 1 out of 1 card, or Willy Wonka's gold ticket, and things of that nature, where I'm just like, how do you even know that got put into circulation, you know, at a random point anyways, and it didn't just go to some big city? I've always wondered that. Apparently, they do literally have, like, auditors and people there watching to be like, okay, we're printing these, let me make sure there's just one, nothing extra, okay? And they're like, all right, here's the sheet of the good pieces, right? There's this one guy who's in charge of the whole company. He's the dirty one. I shouldn't say in charge of the whole company, but he's in charge of, like, the printing line, okay? He's in charge of getting these stickers to McDonald's, the prize-winning stickers, right? He's dirty. He has mob ties that they don't know about. And he ends up... The funny thing about it is that apparently he always made like a big, grandiose deal about it at the factory whenever they're printing these pieces. Like, everyone, come watch. We're going to put out the $1 million pieces right now. We're printing them right now. He'd pick it up, like, all right, here it is. This one's going to win someone $1 million. This one's going to win somebody a Dodge Viper. Here's Boardwalk. This is the one you need with Park Place, because they print a ton of Park Place. Anyways. And he puts it in the envelope, and they seal it up, and they put it into a briefcase right there with an auditor who is supposed to never leave this person's side, okay? It happened that the main guy was a guy. The auditor was a girl. So they're literally like flying out that day to go get this to McDonald's, right?
He kills her.
Every time, every year. This is multiple years, by the way. This is the funny part about it. It's every year. This was scammed for years. And it's handcuffed to him, right? And it's like the briefcase is handcuffed to him to be like, you can't go anywhere with this, and like, you don't leave my sight. Well, can you think right now off the top of your head, how would he ever be able to leave her sight without her knowing? Because I'll tell you right now, the auditor had no clue. It's a guy and a girl that watch these pieces. The girl had no clue. the auditor. She had no clue.
He had to go poop.
Correct. The only time it ever left his sight was to be like, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick before the flight or something like that. And it was sealed. The sealed envelope sealed in front of a ton of people. People watch it get sealed. And they, every year, delivered a sealed envelope. How? How'd you manage that? Somehow, this is how the whole scam got started. Somehow, accidentally, the seals to the envelopes got left on his desk. An extra sheet or sleeve of seals got left on his desk the first year they were running it. Triggered this whole thing in his mind of like, I can scam this
whole thing. Mm-hmm.
He takes an X-Acto knife, makes a perfect incision, pops open the seal, which, bro, the stones on this guy. Mm-hmm. The stones. You know how boned you are if you get caught at that point? Imagine the point of no return. You know what I'm saying? Like the point of no return of like, oh my God, there's a cut in this. There's a cut. I can't do it. Oh, you already started now, pal. You gotta go now, pal.
Yep.
He cuts it open perfectly. And I've always, cause the whole thing for me is like, how did he get away with that? How did they not know? How did the auditor not know? I swore she had to be in on it. The whole time I'm watching the documentary, I'm like, she's in on it. She has to be in on it. She's not in on it, bro. She's really not. He cuts it open. He replaces the rare pieces with common pieces, which, by the way, I didn't know this because I was like, how wouldn't they see that?
Right.
The way they're printed is that they print them, and then it's on like the thing that gets stuck on the carton already.
So you're not going to see it unless
you can't see it. Exactly. Yeah, the printing company has signed, confirmed with eyewitnesses. All right, these are the rare pieces. We can confirm these are the rare pieces. They're ready to go to be stuck on random drinks and fries and sandwich packages, right? Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. He replaces them with common ones, and because he had an extra package of the seals, perfectly closes the envelope and places a seal right on top of the other seal. To where, no matter how they open it, unless you were to be like, looking at the envelope, like, is there 2 on there? You would never know. He said that was the riskiest part about it, was that I was placing the seal right on top of the other seal, to where it was, if it was off by
a millimeter, they're going to see that probably.
A millimeter. Yeah. You're going to be like, why are there 2 seals? Yeah. He never got caught for that either. He did it perfect every year. That's why I'm saying the stones on this guy, man. Ice cold in an airport bathroom. Briefcase handcuffed to your wrist. This guy is cutting it open, putting in fraudulent common pieces, and that. And the whole thing is, they aren't monitoring. They are not monitoring like where these pieces are going. They're just making sure they go into circulation. They're not monitoring like, well, we know this one's coming to LA. We know this one's going to New York. We know this one's going to Austin,
then that
Texas.
Would have caught it. Yeah.
They would have caught that then, right?
Yeah.
The way they catch him is super interesting, by the way, because they caught on eventually that all these people that were winning did have obscure ties to each other. They're like, well, this is too much of a coincidence to be true. McDonald's internally did. The way they caught on is the FBI gave them that tie, and then they ran it again another year, knowing it was fake. So which to me, I'm like, dude, crazy, right?
Yeah.
They ran it knowing it was fake to be able to catch who was doing it. Crazy stuff, man. So it's a great documentary series. I recommend running it. Do you have any thoughts, since I've gabbed on and on about this for the whole thing? What are your thoughts on this?
What was it like? They literally saw him go to the bathroom by himself and like that. And that must be it. Like what exactly was it?
He confessed to that once they had him dead to rights. They're like, you legitimately are the only person who could be doing this. We know the mob says you're in on it, right? Mm-hmm. You're their guy. You're their connection. And so what we don't know is how. Can you tell us? And I mean, I guess he could have gone to his grave and being like, I'm not telling you how. I'm not telling you how I did it. But he confessed as to how he did it. So, and the person who I always felt really bad for during like my time watching this was the auditor. They swore, like, you have to be in on it. There's no way you're not in on it. These pieces can't leave your sight. And she's like, I swear it's never left my sight. I don't know how he did this. I'm by his side the whole time. And someone, I guess, proposed to her, like, when he goes to the bathroom? And she's like, no, not when he goes to the bathroom. No. Why would I be by his side when he goes to the bathroom? I guess that's when he's doing it, yeah. But they swore she was in on it, and she was not. So I think that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, of course he wants to confess. You want to do that. If you outsmart a person or a thing
How'd you
or
outsmart
a whole
us?
group, yeah, you want to Yeah, I fooled you, and this is how I did it. You want to do that?
And he's doing life in jail anyways for like a major fraud case. Like he knows he's
you might as well get your attention for it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah,
Plus the mob pissed off the mob because they all got jail time as well. So it's crazy, dude.
The mob has to be like one of the most confusing things to me. Not like
How
I don't
so?
know how to describe it because it's like that like. Clearly, the mob is known. Like you talked about different people. Did some of the mob people literally have like their full faces and names on this docuseries when they're being interviewed?
No.
Because I'm
So
like,
the one big guy, the guy who redeemed the Dodge Viper, the guy who redeemed the Dodge Viper, okay, and pissed people off. They're like, "Why did you do that? What are you freaking kidding me?" He's like, "They'll never know. What's the big deal if I redeem the Dodge Viper?" He was the main tie. He was kind of like a mid-tier guy in the mob. He had the ties to the printing company guy. And so the printing company guy goes to him. He's like, hey, I have this idea. He goes to the head honcho. They implement it, right? And so that's the guy. He's dead. I think he like legitimately died, by the way. No, he got shot. He got killed. Yeah, he got killed. Never mind. He got killed.
That's what I'm saying.
He got killed. He got killed.
That's what's so weird to me is that in these docuseries when it's like, we have the mob right here. I'm like, so this guy's dead, right? Like,
yeah,
the mob is not going to let this guy. What I just said, yeah, I fooled you, and this is how I fooled you. The mob's not going to let that happen.
The guy who had the in with the printing company guy, his wife or ex-wife or however you want to call it, widow. I can't even confirm if they were together when he got killed. Is talking for him, running through all of this and stuff. Yeah, but they did have somebody who, like, they had people who were, with mob ties, like, doing it. So, I don't know.
I respect / fear the
Stones.
To do that.
The Stones on those guys.
I respect that guy, dude. That is like, oh my gosh.
Dude, like, here's how I did it. Oh, man.
I respect that. I really do. I used to be, dude, for years growing up. I was like, I'm going to be a prosecuting attorney. No lie. That's what I wanted to be for a while.
Wow.
Because I think we've shown through this show.
Podcast checks out. Yeah. Podcast checks out.
I'm great at, like, you're stupid. You did this wrong. This is wrong. Like, I love doing it.
You want to point out how people messed up?
Yeah. I was like, that'd be great, like, to point out how stupid someone was. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, dude, like, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if prosecuting attorneys more often work with big corporations or if defense attorneys more often work with big corporations or whatever. I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to help the little guy. I support the guy stealing from McDonald's. Screw you, McDonald's, you the billionaires and whatever. I hope you get stolen from. So I respect this guy.
People getting stolen from in this case were random people whose lives would have been changed for the better had they actually won these prizes, for what it's worth.
But they weren't stolen from.
Think about this. Think about this.
It was never theirs.
Think about this. Legit. There is someone out there right now who has no idea they would have won $1 million from the McDonald's game if it wasn't rigged. Someone would have won. Someone would have won. Someone would have won.
That's not stealing from that person.
No, that's who got screwed the most. They just don't even know it, is the thing.
You're right. It don't matter.
Yeah. Could have been my grandparents. My grandparents could have won, for all I know, right? They were playing enough to, that's for sure. I remember getting in their car, and there's just like 30 Monopoly pieces. I'm like, my God, guys, are we building the whole board here? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. I like sticking it to big corporations and big millionaires or whatever. I don't know if you saw, like, this week, Kansas City tried to do that tax extension to, like, 2064. They want to do $800 million worth of renovations to the stadium. The family that owns the stadium, who is worth $25 billion.
The Hunts are worth $25 billion?
I think something like that. They don't want to give, the maximum they're willing to give is $300 million. For their own stadium, which of course, first off, like half of those renovations are like VIP rooms and stuff that the common person's never going to afford, never.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we'll just extend this tax thing, and the taxpayers will pay for it. And they voted on it, and the people said no. I love that. Screw you. You're a billionaire. Put 1% of your salary into your own stadium. I love that.
And then the thing about it is who gets screwed? The fans, because they're going to threaten to leave. They're going to threaten to relocate and go to a city whose taxpayers will pay for it. The Kansas City Chiefs, even before this recent run of theirs, are one of the most, historically important teams to the NFL, or the AFL especially. And so, Cincinnati, I told you this the other day, they have per capita the worst taxpayer stadium deal in world history. World history. Paul Brown Stadium, which by all considerations is considered a dump in terms of this, like, NFL standards. It's a fine stadium, by the way. It's not like Oakland Coliseum bad, But it's probably considered a bottom 5, bottom 6 NFL stadium because it doesn't have the crazy bells and whistles. I'll say what I'll always say about this. I'll say this about Great American Ballpark as well, where the Reds play. It was built at the worst time. It was built not way back when, like during the Lambeau years, to be like, oh, cathedral, oh, it's so important. Like, and they've changed Lambeau a lot, but Lambeau, it's never going anywhere. They're never going to get rid of Lambeau. They're never going to get rid of Dodger Stadium. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're old, whatever. But it wasn't built around the time that, like, the Cowboys did AT&T Stadium, which is just a ridiculous, over-the-top, destination type stadium. It was built between the two. You don't have all the bells and whistles. You're not old enough to be historically significant. And so it's just there. Absolutely. And so now it's like, here we are, and Paul Brown Stadium's 25 years old, I want to say. And Great American Ballpark is 23 years old. Something like that. And, yeah, and like, they're all outdated already. Already all outdated. So, and not to mention, like I said, Cincinnati taxpayers are on the hook for a super outdated, no bells and whistles, can't get big venues or big attraction, destination, like tour people, stadium. So, I mean, Taylor Swift was here last year, but I mean, she had a whole stadium tour. Yeah.
Stick it to the man.
Come on, screw the man.
Yep. So, the stones on the man for stealing from McDonald's that way, it's insane. That's crazy. And yeah, I did not know it went that deep. But thanks for telling me about the documentary. I might still check it out because it is very interesting.
It's a great watch, too. It's a light and easy watch, too. Like, you won't feel like you have to be paying, like, extra hard attention to everything they say. Like, you just need the overarching details, and it's super interesting. So, as for the conspiracy, it's possible McDonald's paid people not to cover it because I was around and I would have been mega interested in this and didn't hear a thing about it when it was all happening. And all
my thing with that is, and yes, this did happen like over a decade ago. My biggest thing with that is like people are like, we can't let this get out. Our company will be tanked, bro. How many? And there's a difference between a decade ago and now.
Yeah.
But how many companies, especially nowadays, like you hear terrible things about, and they're still around. They took no hit for that. State Farm was one of them.
What's State Farm do?
State Farm, like. Talk for a minute. I'm going to see if I can find like a general summary of their scandal.
I was just going to say, the fact that it leaked, that Amazon is concerned they will run out of people to employ because of how quickly they run through employees is wild to me. And we just like, actually, nothing's wrong. Amazon still runs the country, right? One of the companies that does. It's fine because, free shipping, free 2-day shipping. So, but Amazon quite literally had an internal document released where they were concerned of running out of employees eventually. They're like, we're not going to have enough people to employ. We'll have employed everyone we could eventually, which is just like, that's wild to me. What are you seeing with State Farm? What happened with State Farm?
I can't find the exact thing, but something about like they were, I don't know exactly the thing. I don't know if they were paying to not settle things, but long story short, they were very shady and they weren't paying out claims that they should have paid, and they faced like a $250 million fine. Stuff that's like insane, like of all things an insurance company should not be doing, and you never hear about it. So like, or even if you do hear about it, obviously they're still around. So on one end, like yes, McDonald's back then might have paid off for it to stay behind a little while. I honestly don't think even if it did come out that McDonald's would have tanked. But
did you know insurance companies a lot of the time aren't the one on the hook for major claims?
Who is?
The insurance company will pay it out. There's this concept called reinsurance where it's like, all right, we'll insure you for $1 million. Then they turn around and say, hey, we'll insure you for $1 million. Pay us $100,000 in insurance premiums, okay? So you're paying $100,000. Something happened to you up to $1 million, okay? The insurance company turns around and says, seriously, sometimes they'll say the full amount. Sometimes they'll say, hey, here's $100,000, cover this instead. We don't want to have it on our books. Sometimes they'll say, hey, here's $85,000. If there's a loss on this policy, you reimburse us for the fact that we paid it out. So you net the $15,000 of the $100,000 in premium they got paid. And if there's a loss, all right, we owe $1 million. Insurance company pays the $1 million. Hey, we had to pay $1 million. You owe us. Give me my $1 million. We had to pay it out. Crazy concept that I did not know about. So it's a real thing. Look at it. It's called reinsurance. Insured again.
Insurance-ified. The reinsurance-inator.
Yeah. So anytime there's like massive like disasters and stuff where insurance companies are on the hook, those are always reinsured. Always. There's always like random companies that actually are the ones footing the bill. The insurance company does pay it. They pay out the claims. Then they'll turn around and say, all right, did we have reinsurance on this? All right, people owe us for the fact that we paid this. It's crazy, bro.
It's so stupid, dude.
Yeah.
It's such a scam. It's such a scam.
Oh, one more thing before we end it up here. One of the funniest things to me, I'm not getting political. I'm not giving my stance on it, but it is inherently political. If you are so anti-socialism, socialism bad, socialism suck, socialism un-American, you better not have insurance. You better not pay a dime of insurance. Why? Why can't I have insurance if I don't think socialism's good? You might think it sucks, Scott, Hern, wherever you are. Blicky, sweet and sticky.
Got him, Gallagher.
Because what is insurance? We all put our money into this pool, and then if I need money, we take money from the pool. That is insurance. That's exactly what insurance is. Except it's more convoluted and less of a sure thing anyways. Mm-hmm. All right, I've paid legit. I mean, sometimes you'll pay $100,000 in premium to an insurance company before you see anything back. If you go like 50, 60 years constantly paying. Mm-hmm. All right, well, I need $25,000 for this necessary surgery to save my, foot. Well, I don't think it's important.
Sorry.
Here's $2,000. It's a $25,000 surgery. I pay more than $2,000 every year. Here's $2,000. Insurance is worse socialism. You're paying money to a pool to eventually pull it out if you need it. Insurance is socialism. Sorry, it is.
And stupid.
Thoughts? And stupid.
I hate insurance. It's a scam. 1,000%. It's a scam.
Yeah.
Be a perfect driver for 20 years. First off, I'm a male, so I got to pay more. Be a perfect driver for 25 years, getting into one wreck. Okay, we're not going to give you everything you're supposed to have, and your rate's going to go up, or we might just drop you. We might just say, we don't want to insure you anymore because you had one wreck that wasn't even your fault. Screw you.
Somebody stole my car, and I had to pay $1,000 before I could get coverage. Somebody stole my car, I had to pay $1,000.
Yeah, it's awesome. Fantastic.
Dude.
We need Batman.
Insane. We need Batman?
Yeah, Batman would have got your car back. I mean, he might have.
I got the car back. It's just, he might have damaged it worse.
We did it, Pat. We saved the city.
We saved the city.
On fire.
Follow us on TikTok at Headaches and Hot Takes.
TikTok.
Where can they find you on social media, Hern? What's your ad on X.com?
At Herniator.
Is it actually just at Herniator? No zeros or anything on Twitter?
No, it's just at Herniator. I mean, I think technically
the O
is a zero because somehow Herniator was taken. So.
At Herniator, but the O is a zero. I'm at Chaperian. It's not spelled like it sounds. Which, by the way, I get a lot of grief for that. What's that town in Illinois where the Bears play?
Chicago.
And that'll do it for this week in Headaches and Hot Takes. Got anything else to say, pal?
That's all, buddy.
Hooday, baby. See you next week.
Peace.